Hello, people. Welcome back to another video by your good friend Chad Marco. So I want to take you guys back quite a few years when I was a kid. My mom was with me in GameStop, and I was being very indecisive about what PlayStation game that I was going to purchase. And she picked up Final Fantasy VIII and suggested it. I don't know exactly why, but she did, and I was just like, well, whatever. And I would say Final Fantasy VIII is probably like my first real Final Fantasy experience. I played Final Fantasy VII first, or at least witnessed it because I had a friend who had it. But as far as the games that I owned, Final Fantasy VIII was pretty much my introduction to the Final Fantasy games. And for the longest time, I would say Final Fantasy VIII was my favorite out of the series. Up until I realized how the game is really just poorly designed. And but once I realized it, I could never enjoy this game again as a game. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. So this video might be a little long because I really want to illustrate my point thoroughly about why this is the really one of the most poorly designed games ever. Um, so we're gonna go through probably a nice chunk of the first part of the game just to clearly demonstrate this. So this video might be a little long-winded, but I'll chop it up. Okay, so after the opening sequence, the opening movie there, we get to the beginning of the game. Now this is the HD version of the game, so that's why it looks good. Let's give him an appropriate name though. Oh yeah. Hold on. Wait, that's all I get? What? When does game come out? I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters? Okay, whatever. So we got Aslord here, the main character. So this is the beginning of the game. We're not going to concern ourselves too much with the story. But I will say this in regards to the story of Final Fantasy VIII. I think I've always said that it's a story that starts off pretty good. And it's like the further along it goes, it gets so ridiculous. Like it steps so out of bounds that it becomes hard to follow and even harder to give a fuck about what's going on. Ask Lord, is there something on your mind? This is why you have to rename these characters. That was great. So worth it. This game was good though. Too bad it's the worst designed Final Fantasy game ever. And we're going to get into it. So in this game, you have GFs, not girlfriends, but Guardian Forces, which are pretty much like the summons of this game. Wait, why do the summons get longer names? Why why do I get to use more characters with the GFs than the fucking main characters? Okay. Well, we'll take full advantage of it. Okay. There we go. New beach. Okay. So we're gonna get out of that. I'll explain the game mechanics later once I get out to the field. Okay, so one thing that you need to know about Final Fantasy VIII is that one of its mechanics is the draw system. Now let's go to Junction Aslord here. Okay, so we're gonna give him Big Bird. Okay, yeah, we'll give him Big Bird. And so once you have a Guardian Force, then you can equip abilities to your command list. So we're gonna give him Magic, GF, and Draw. Now it's also important to set. Let's see. I remember how to do this. It's been a while. You also want to set the learning ability, the ability that you're going to learn with your GF. That's going to be vital. So let's do. Wouldn't refinement be pretty good? Let's do that. And we'll do Strength Junction. Okay. These are all important. So let's go draw here. So basically, the way magic works in this game is that you either receive it from draw points. So right now, I'm drawing Cure from this draw point. And so I've stocked 5 Cures. You can also draw magic from enemies. So let's junction the magic to Squall. So we have 5 Cures. I'm going to junction the 5 Cures to Squall's magic ability. Now, it didn't have an effect, but basically by junctioning magic to your abilities, your stats, you raise your stats that way. That's important. Now we're going to team up with Keistis here to do our first dungeon. Now, in a sense, we're going to do a bit of grinding right now. This is important. So this game has random encounters, but watch the flow of battle and notice what I do, right? Oh yeah, hold up. I'm gonna have to actually run away real quick. It's gonna be a lot of that, but I forgot to actually junction Keistis. So let's get her right first. Junction Keistis. Give her Nude Beach. And she doesn't have any magic yet, and so we're gonna give her magic, draw, and item. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is draw a ridiculous amount of magic. Aslord, you still remember? The R1 is the trail god. That's just great. Same for the Rinzonuzuken, Zakan. So painful. So we drawed magic from this bug creature here. So we're getting fire magic from them. So you get a different amount each time, and the maximum amount that you can carry is gonna be 100 for each spell. So you can have 100 fires, 100 fire Firas, 100 for Ragas. I think that's how you pronounce it. So we're gonna draw fire magic up to about the maximum. Okay, so we got a lot of fire magic. We got a lot of fire magic. And we got some scans too. But you notice I didn't finish the fight. That's gonna be important. I got everything I wanted out of that fight though. I got everything I wanted. So let's go back to the junction screen. Let's go to Aslord here. And junction ability. Alright, hold on. What's the magic? Okay, so again. So look, I have 100 fires. If I equip that 100 fires to his magic skill, it goes up by 10. So this is the fastest way to bring your stats up, is by junctioning magic, acquired magic, to your stats. Now, the more you have and the stronger the magic, typically the more that stat is going to go up. Now, right now, we're not in the greatest position because you notice that I can't junction to all of his stats. You have to learn those skills by learning that particular skill with the GF. So you see here, where is it? Let me see. With the GF, Big Bird, in order to junction magic to raise my HP, Big Bird has to learn HP junction. So these are things that happen over time. And we're going to see some of that. So again, it's going to be, I'm going to be skipping all over the place a little bit, but it's not going to take long before I pretty much expose this game for the nonsense that it is. Okay, so let's go to the Fire Cavern. Okay, so this is the Fire Cavern, which is basically the first dungeon of the game where Squall is taking his test to make sure he would be qualified to be a mercenary or something like that. And so before we really get into this video, I want to make one thing clear. We're gonna pay close attention to the random encounters versus the boss battles. In particular, to how many random encounters do I complete? And when I say complete, what I mean is how many random encounters end in me defeating the enemies versus me running away. So my intent is, with every random encounter, or as many random encounters as I can, to just run away. I'll draw magic from the enemies, but for the most part, I won't be fighting them. I'll just draw magic and run away. Now, of course, with boss battles, you can't run away from them. You got to defeat the bosses. So, of course, we're going to be defeating bosses, but the goal is to complete or defeat as few random normal enemies as possible. And keep in mind, thus far, we haven't killed a single normal enemy. We haven't completed a single random encounter. And so we're going to keep track of that throughout the duration of this video. So right now we're at 0 random encounter battles completed and 0 boss battles completed. Okay, so let's make sure we're junctioning properly here. So we're gonna give I don't know what the spirit stat does, to be honest. So we got some more magic in the meantime, some blizzard, sleep, etc. But again, just drawing. I haven't defeated a single enemy yet. I'll give her, I guess, blizzard for the spirit. And what does Squall or Aslord have? Magic. We'll give him fire. Okay, so let's go. So I'll probably do some drawing while I'm in here, just to see like what's available. Okay, so we're about to, well, we're gonna fight the boss pretty soon. Okay, so we're fighting the first boss, who is Ifrit. The fire beast. That's what I call him. I always called him Ifrit when I was a kid. Alright, first boss battle. So we have to defeat Ifrit to make progress. So we won't be running away from this battle. As you can see, can't escape. So we have to fight. But of course, I still want to draw a little bit. Just a little bit. Squall's ice magic should be a bit stronger though, because he has magic junction to his magic stat. Yep. See, and that's the first example of how junctioning your magic to your stats helps out. But you notice her Blizzard isn't doing as much damage as Squall's. Another feature with this game is that you know, Final Fantasy games always have a limit break mechanic, which is basically like the character's unique, most powerful attacks. But in this game, in order to use them, you have to be in a state close to death. So the lower your HP, the more likely it is that you get access to your limit break. So it's kind of a risky business because your character's HP has to be low in order to use it. So you get access to their powerful attacks, but the whole while you're very vulnerable to death because you're, you know, basically knocking on death's door while you're using them. I think in a way, even the limit break system in this game is kind of stupid when you think about it. Just the fact that you can pretty much use it endlessly as long as you have low HP, that's pretty stupid, if you ask me. For me to lose to a human, very well, I would join you. So we defeated Ifrit. Now keep in mind, we haven't leveled up not one time. Alright, so look, this is very important here. It's very important. You do not receive any experience points for defeating bosses. I repeat, you do not receive any experience points for defeating bosses. So let me make one thing clear, the way this game works. This game has level scaling. This is gonna be important. So one thing about a lot of RPGs is that players were able to overpower themselves by grinding and leveling up beyond the level of the current enemies at that point in the game. So this game implemented level scaling, and it's not completely unusual for RPGs to attempt some sort of level scaling mechanic. So basically, the more you level up, the stronger the enemies get. So essentially, what you want to do is not level up so the enemies don't get stronger. But then you think, okay, well, if you're not getting stronger, isn't that going to affect you negatively, even if the enemies are scaled to your level? Well, because of the junction system, you can still raise your stats without leveling up. So in essence, the name of the game is to not level up while getting stronger. And that's essentially what we're doing. And so what really blows my mind about this game system, the game's mechanics, is that you get experience points for defeating regular enemies, but you don't get them for defeating bosses. What do you get for defeating bosses? You get items like these, and you also get AP. AP is what the GFs need in order to learn new abilities, and that's going to be key. Let's see. Oh, I got a perfect name for you. Okay. Hot boy. Okay, so this is important. This is where it starts to get fun. So with Ifrit or Hot Boy, he already has strength and magic junction ability learned. Okay, so this is gonna be very strong. So With Ifrit, I can raise Squall's or Aslord's attack stat without leveling up at all. So let's go to strength, which is at 17. Now, let's see, what should I give him? So I'm gonna take fire off of magic and put let's say scan there, and I'm gonna put fire there. So now basically his strength has gone up by 10 points just by me equipping fire or junctioning fire to his strength stat. Now again, one thing you want to pay attention to is with the GFs, what they're learning. So you notice we got 20 AP from that boss fight, and as you can see, there's 20 AP that's going towards Big Bird's HP junction ability, which will allow me to raise Squall's HP without leveling up. And here's another important ability here, the Refine skill. This allows you to get magic. This allows you to turn items into magic. Because I know some people might be thinking, well, if it takes so long to draw that magic, is it really worth it? Well, you can expedite that process by allowing the GF to learn skills like refining, which allows you to you get magic just out of the items that you find. And the rarer the item, usually the better magic you get out of it. We're gonna want him to learn strength plus 20%. Now I did a lot of like draw grinding earlier, if you want to call it that. But you don't have to do that a lot. The further you get into the game, you get to a point where you can just, instead of fighting, just draw magic real quick and then dip out. No consequence. Okay, so now we've gotten changed and we're about to go to Aslord over here. We're about to go to the big, the first big mission. Or real mission, I should say. We are introduced to Zell, chicken shit. I thought he was the coolest thing since sliced bread when I first saw him. Now I'm like, Zell is awful. Woo, I'm driving, yay! We're off to the big mission. Oh, I'm already done. We're on our way. So, with this mission, I believe there are some enemies that we have to kill. So, this will be one of the few times you'll actually see me defeat a regular enemy, if I'm not mistaken. Man, this part was so cool. Very well done. You know, this video is trashing Final Fantasy VIII, but I gotta always give them credit for at least an amazing first disc. The first disc of Final Fantasy VIII is grade A RPG stuff. Okay, here we go. So I believe these battles are mandatory. Let me just make sure. Okay, so we can't escape, so we have to fight these guys. So these are mandatory. So we're gonna gain some experience points here against our will. Oh no. I feel bad now. That feels terrible. Okay, that's the other one. We still haven't leveled up yet, so it's still good. As you can see, I'm still trying to run away, but I'm not allowed to. Mandatory battles here. Nice. So I think that's the last mandatory battle where we have to kill the regular enemies. I think it is. We'll see though. These are mandatory, so we're gonna find out now. So let's see. Alright, we can run away again now. So we're back to running away. I think, how many battles do we have? Like maybe 3 or 4? The finishing blow determines the EXP. Save it for me. So we can't escape again. Another mandatory battle. Awesome. Alright, so as Lord leveled up, his first leveled up. Oh great, New Beach leveled up. Yeah, there are quite a few mandatory battles here, but again, this particular mission is very, it's like very scripted. That's why it's like that. It's a very scripted mission. But here we are again, just running away. Okay, so we're gonna be fighting what I would consider to be like the first serious boss of the game. Ifrit is technically the first boss, but you know, that's a setup. This is where if you don't know how to play, you can actually die. So you would think, oh, all right, you've been running away from all these battles. Certainly at this point, you're gonna start to feel the effects of that. Well, not quite. So we're gonna continue with our normal programming. Not even gonna fight him. I'm gonna go straight for the draw. I mean, I know it's still early in the game, but even based on the damage I'm receiving or the lack thereof, you know, why is that? Because partially because like we haven't been leveling up, so the enemies haven't been leveling up. This is the way to play the game. I'm serious. This is how you want to play the game. Now, obviously, I can't run away from this battle because it's a boss battle, but right now, yeah, it's not like he's a threat, so I might as well just sit here and just draw up, you know. Renzokuken! And the real battle begins. So you want to draw from Everett. He's got some, he has a GF on him. Siren, I believe. What the hell is that? Ooh, the finisher. Victory! Awesome. You know, I gotta say, when you do have the battles are cool. But even then, no, see, and you don't get experience. But remember, you do not get experience points for defeating bosses. Squirt. Okay, so this is the... I'm not sure if we can destroy him or not. But I know that you can run away from them. Oh, well, you can run away after a while. Well, while we're here, let's draw some magic. Which is always the best thing to do. What does he have? Protect. Okay. And then you can run. Run! Okay, so we are back. So I skipped ahead a little bit. After that big mission, we had a party at the school to celebrate us becoming official members of Seed. But I wanted to skip that lame part and get back to the fighting. So we're going to be hanging out with Keistis tonight and going to the training room. Well, here we are. Ass Lord, that's perfect. God damn. T-Rexar, Aslord, be careful. Sometimes it's better to run. Oh! You don't say. Okay, it looks like we have a boss battle. Great. Let me make sure. I'm gonna try to run away real quick. Okay, so this is a boss battle here. I think right now we're really just taking advantage of the enemies not being leveled up. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. Keistis truly is the best girl. New Beach learns Strength Junction. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So now that New Beach has learned Strength Junction, whoever has her equipped as a GF can equip magic to their strength, which will increase the power of their melee attack. Or regular attack, if you will. So let's do that right now. Keistis. So now that New Beach has learned Strength Junction, I can take some magic here and junction it to her strength stat. But which one? So right now it's 19. I can raise it to 29 by junctioning Thunder to her strength stat. Okay, so now we are going to our first official Seed mission. This is great. So Sid just gave us a cursed item. It's a magical lamp. Now that's pretty important too. If I remember correctly, with the magical lamp, when you use it, it takes you automatically to a fight with Diablo, which is another GF that you can use. Now, the cool thing about Diablo is that Diablo can learn a skill that I think he's the one. I think he learns a skill that basically turns off random encounters. So, the more you look at this game and its mechanics in regards to combat, but also the GFs, to me, it's just so clear that this game does not want you to fight random encounters. When you have a GF that you find early in the game that learns an ability that allows you to turn off random encounters, what does that tell you? Okay, so this leads to one of the I don't know if you can call it a flashback sequence, but basically we're experiencing the story of somebody else, Laguna and his team. But the same rules apply. Run away from all the battles, draw and run away from all the battles, because we all share the same stats basically. But I believe these events have taken place in the past. And now I forgot the exact reason why, because this story is just so ridiculous as it goes on. But like I said, we're experiencing the life of Laguna for whatever reason. Okay. Well. Oh, hold up. Hmm. Simple and to the point. As Lord and Slut, a match made in heaven. Nice. So Big Bird learned HP junction. So here we see the power of junctioning and what it can do for your HP. So you see that Squall has 529 HP. But now that Nude Beach has learned HP Junction, I can Junction Magic to his HP. So look how it goes up depending on the magic you equip to it. If I equip Life to it, it goes up to 841. And remember, we're not leveling up. This is a drastic difference, obviously. Let's see, it goes up to 697 with Shell, 859 with Isuna. So if I gave him more life magic, that would be even better. Let me see. Give all. Okay, what does she have? Give all. Okay, so let's go back to Ass Lord and then Junction Magic. Let's see what life does now that he has more. It goes up to 1,537. Dude. So he basically tripled his HP without leveling up. That's the power of the junctioning system. Tripled his HP without leveling up at all. At this point, the game is already close to being broke. Because with us not leveling up, how are the bosses supposed to take Squall out when his HP is going up so dramatically? Oh, hold up. So this is interesting. I didn't even notice this. When you go to the pet shop, you buy items for the GF. Now I might have known this but forgotten. But the way this looks is that you can buy scrolls for your GFs to expedite the process of them learning abilities, which only further illustrates how easy it is to break the game. Because normally the only way for the GF to learn skills is to get AP. You only get AP by completing battles. But remember, we're avoiding random encounters and normal battles. We're only getting AP through the mandatory boss battles. You have to do the boss battles. So that's how we're getting our AP. That's how the GFs are learning the abilities that are allowing us to get stronger quicker. But I didn't realize that they have these scrolls that allow you to learn abilities just by buying the goddamn scroll. They're pretty expensive. But this is just another way to get stronger quicker without having to actually engage in random encounters. Oh my god. I mean, this game is just so stupid, bro. This might be a mandatory battle here. Yep, so this is mandatory. We can't escape. So that was another mandatory battle. We couldn't escape from that one. Okay, nobody leveled up. Great. Oh, Hot Boy learned strength plus 20%. So we did get something good out of it. Wait, so we really can't leave? Okay. So now that Hot Boy has learned strength plus 20%, let me see how this works again. Alright, so you can equip abilities that the GF have learned. So this is another way to get stronger without leveling up. So Hot Boy learns strength plus 20%. Now you see that Squall's strength is at 27 with fire equipped to it, right? So I'm going to equip strength plus 20%. Now his strength is at 32. Oh, let's see it again. So it went from 27 to 32. Not a lot, but as your strength goes up, that percentage, the percentage stays the same, but it's a bigger percentage as your strength goes up. But that's just another way to get stronger without having to actually level up. This might be another mandatory. Let's see. Yep, can't escape. Oh, so Zell leveled up. Zell leveled up. But we're still in the lower range, so a level up or two isn't gonna make a big difference. But you definitely just want to stay, as low as possible. Big Bird leveled up. New Beast leveled up. Okay. Duel card. GF's leveling up doesn't really matter in regards to the level scaling in the game, so I don't worry about that. And there really aren't enough mandatory battles to make a big difference, so. Diablo is actually kind of a fake. It's kind of a fake tough guy boss, optional boss, in order to get Diablo as a GF. But what makes him intimidating is that he has a lot of magic that lowers your HP but will not kill. So the reason why he was able to do a lot of damage to Squall, even though Squall's HP is pretty ridiculous for this part of the game, is because the magic that he used, the amount of damage that it does is based on a percentage. So it's gonna take off half or a third or 2/3 regardless of how much HP you have. But because of that, the same spells that do a lot of damage, they won't kill pretty much no matter what, unless you have like 1 HP left. So Diablo is kind of a fake tough guy, really. He's intimidating if you let the damage get to you, but once you figure that out, he's just a bitch like the rest of them. So here's the interesting thing about Diablo, and I think I explained this before, but Diablo can learn the encounter half skill. So this cuts the encounter rate by half. So basically you'll have a significantly less amount of random encounters. Now I believe at some point you'll be able to unlock the ability to learn how to remove all random encounters. So again, it just sort of reiterates the fact that this game does not want you to participate in random encounters at all. To give you a GF early in the game that can learn the ability to basically turn off random encounters says a lot. Okay, so this is another mandatory battle here. So I can't escape. And on back attack. As you can see, I can't escape, so I have to finish this one out. But should be no problem. Laguna has Squall's kit. So that was another mandatory battle. Laguna leveled up to level 9. But not a big deal. Oh, okay. Big Bird learned Magic Refinery. That's good. So right there, you just saw me turn items into magic. Let me see if I can do anything with it. Let's see. Let's junction magic. So I'm gonna put the Thunder Gut on his strength, right? It should be stronger now. So look, his strength went from 38 to 52 because I switched out the fire with the 75 Thundagas. And we got the Thundagas by converting some of our items into Thunder Magic. So this is another aspect of the game that allows you to basically break it wide open. Is the ability to change items into magic. That way you don't have to worry about drawing from specific enemies or specific draw points. You can get good high level magic just from converting items into it. So this might be another mandatory battle. Let me see. Yep, that's 344. So already we're starting to really see the results of our training or lack thereof. So this is another mandatory battle. So I got no choice but to fight this. I think this is the 4th one for this sequence. Okay, another one. So this is the 5th mandatory battle of this sequence. I don't know why they're giving Laguna so many mandatory battles for, but I can't escape, so let's just go. Wow, we didn't get experience points for that for some reason. Another one. So now we're actually getting close to the end of the first disc. There isn't much left. There's like one or two boss battles, and then that'll be it for the first disc. Damn, that was easy. Shit. So I think this battle is one of the clearest examples of what happens when you don't level up and the enemies stay low level while you're actually getting stronger through the junctioning system. Impudent seeds. So that's it. That's the end of the first disc, more or less. There's just the last cutscene. Let's watch this. But this is about the end of the video, and I think making it to the end of the first disc is a great way to express how broken and just poorly designed this game is. So I think by this point we have 0 random encounters completed. I think about 13 mandatory random encounters completed, and maybe about, I forgot how many boss battles, what, like 7 or 8, something like that, 9, somewhere around there. And we talk about a game, an RPG, to be able to get through the whole first disc. See, so that was the end of the first disc. To be able to get through the entire first disc without completing any random encounters, leveling up very little, and still being able to make it through pretty easily. And see, and keep in mind too, I rushed through the first disc. I could have actually done more as far as like using the GF abilities to convert items into magic. I could have been playing the card game to get cards that I could have converted into items in magic. Like, there are so many different ways. I could have let the seed money go up just by letting the game run, because you get paid based on the amount of time you're playing. So you can just let the money accumulate by just letting the game sit. And then you can buy the items that would allow you to expedite the process of the GFs learning their abilities, which only further break the game. So again, man, I used to love this game when I was a kid, but it's like once I figured out how broken it is, it just pretty much killed any, not any, but I think it killed my respect for the game and my ability to enjoy it, because the game is just fundamentally flawed in the core of its design. And I know a lot of people will say, there are a lot of games that you can bust wide open, and that's completely true. But the difference is, with most games that allow you to quote unquote break it, it's usually by using some sort of glitch or taking advantage of an oversight by the developers. It's kind of like when I think back to playing something like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. There was a glitch that allowed you to multiply items, so you could multiply one potion into like 100 potions. Like that's a glitch. That's something that gets patched out. This game is fundamentally flawed. It's flawed to the very core. Like there is no fixing it. There's no patching what this game is. The system is just simply broken. And I've never played a game where it was well, specifically a RPG where it was counterproductive to fight. You want to avoid fighting as much as you can. Now, of course, you have some fights that you can avoid, but those are really few and far in between. So those are not going to allow you to accumulate enough experience points to level up. Because remember, the more you level up, the stronger the enemies get because of the level scaling. So what in a nutshell, what makes this game so broken is that the enemies only get stronger as you level up, but you can get significantly stronger without leveling up. So the name of the game is to just not level up as much as you can, avoid fighting as much as you can, while taking advantage of the various systems and game mechanics that are in place that allow you to get stronger without leveling up, without fighting. In particular, the junction system and the GF abilities. And again, like I said, man, like I rushed. I didn't get new weapons. I didn't upgrade their weapons. I could have gotten the items that allow GFs to learn abilities quicker. I could have been playing the card game. I could have been converting more items into mat. Like there was more things I could have done if I really focused in on it. And the fact that I was able to get through the entire first disc without completing a single random encounter that was not mandatory says a lot. And keep in mind, you don't even get experience points for defeating bosses. So the bosses barely count in terms of being a factor in you getting stronger and leveling up outside of the AP. So, you know, I think moving forward, as I've gone back to expose this game, and I can't even say expose. Most people who know the game know what it is, but I saw various parts and things about the game that gave me a sense of nostalgia and reminded me why I love the game before I realized how poorly designed it is. So I'm not gonna try to take away like from the good that this game presents and gives the player, but I think it's hard for me to defend and enjoy a game where fighting combat is counterproductive. Now, there are some games where that actually makes sense, like Metal Gear Solid or something like that. But in an RPG, it really it does it. In an RPG where the core of the challenge is in the battles, the core of the obstacles that get in the player's way is those battles. When that engaging with that becomes counterproductive, what you have is just a bloated visual novel. And this game's story isn't even that good. It's like, in my opinion, it's really not. So it's like, what do you have left other than specific moments, a great soundtrack, and things of that nature? You know, the one thing I can enjoy is just seeing how busted I am when I get to particular boss fights. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will be seeing you. Like, hold on, one more thing though. Like, just one more point to make. So this is my save before I stopped playing. I kind of got tired of breaking the game open, right? 25 hours in, this 3. Now look at the difference. Now Zale is the example here, but look, Zale is level 9 here, and he's level 12 in this 3. And it's not like I main Zale for his dual limit break, so he's always with Squall. Like he's not cool anymore, but he's still my favorite character in terms of like his limit break. And look, from this one, the end of this one to this 3, he's only level 12. So that means from that point to where I stopped in this 3, he only leveled up 3 times, bro. Like, again, fighting is counterproductive in this game. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you later.